Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am Saira Mushtaba with the news at 9. The headlines. 13 people killed as a temple roof caves in Indore, Madhya Pradesh. President, Vice President and Prime Minister expressed grief. Union Home Minister Amit Shah inaugurates several development projects in Uttarakhand. Government exempts basic customs duty on drugs and food imported to treat rare diseases. India to achieve defence equipment export target worth 40,000 crore rupees by 2026, says Defence Minister Rajnath Singh. Ram Navami, marking birth of Lord Ram, being celebrated with enthusiasm in several parts of country. And in badminton, B.V. Sindhu and Kidambi Srikanth enter quarterfinals of Madrid, Spain Masters Tournament. And now the news in detail. In Madhya Pradesh, 13 people have been killed as the roof of a stepwell caved in at the Bileshwar Mahadev Jhulelal temple in Indore. 17 people have been rescued so far. Our correspondent reports, during the Havan, many devotees, mostly women, were on the terrace of the stepwell when the roof caved in due to excess weight. Many devotees fell into the water-filled stepwell. Senior officials of administration and medical teams rushed to the spot. Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan is in contact with the district administration regarding the rescue operation. President Draupadi Murmu, Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi have expressed grief at the loss of lives in the temple accident in Indore. They expressed deepest condolences to all the bereaved families and wished a speedy recovery to the injured. The Prime Minister also spoke to Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan. He prayed for those affected and their families. The Prime Minister announced an ex gratia of 2 lakh rupees from PM's National Relief Fund to the next of kin of the deceased. The injured would be given 50,000 rupees. Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan has also announced 5 lakh rupees each to the families of the deceased and 50,000 rupees each to the injured. Union Home and Cooperation Minister Amit Shah today inaugurated various schemes for development of Uttarakhand. He inaugurated computerization of Uttarakhand's multi-purpose primary agricultural credit cooperative societies or MPACs, joint cooperative farming in 95 blocks, 95 Jan Suvidha Kendras and 95 Jan Aushadhi Kendra from Rishikul grounds at Haridwar. Mr. Shah said the work to computerize 63,000 primary agricultural credit societies or PACs of the country is in progress. He said that Prime Minister Narendra Modi has created independent cooperative ministry for the first time in 75 years with the aim of Sehkari se Samriddhi.
हमारे देश को हर क्षेत्र के अंदर आगे लाना मतलब उद्योग, अर्थतंत्र और शिक्षा के क्षेत्र में भी आगे लाने के लिए ढेर सारे काम नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने किए हैं। विश्व भर में बिखरी पड़ी भारत से चोरी की गई, उठाकर ले गई और कई सारी मूर्तियों को मोदी जी ने अपने पुनः प्रतिष्ठित कर पुराने स्थान पर इसकी प्रतिष्ठा करने का काम किया है।
The minister said computerization of all multi-purpose primary agricultural credit societies has been completed in record 15 months. He said running of Jan Suvidha Kendra will increase the income of cooperative societies. Mr. Shah said that the government has linked the low land-holding farmers with allied businesses like fishery, farming, dairying, etc. through cooperatives, and this way the target to double the income of farmers will be achieved soon. Earlier, Mr. Shah attended the 113th convocation ceremony of Gurukul Kangri University at Haridwar as a chief guest. He was accompanied by Uttarakhand Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami. Mr. Shah today inaugurated the newly constructed building of the Patanjali University. The central government has exempted all drugs and food for special medical purposes imported for personal use for treatment of all rare diseases from basic customs duty. The exempted drugs and food are listed under the National Policy for Rare Diseases 2021. To avail the exemption, the individual importer has to produce a certificate from the Central or State Director Health Services or the Civil Surgeon of the district. The ministry said the government has fully exempted pembrolizumab, Keytruda, used in the treatment of various cancers from basic customs duty. The first G20 Trade and Investment Working Group TIWG meeting concluded in Mumbai today. Addressing the closing session, Union Minister for Commerce and Industry Piyush Goyal said, India took up the G20 presidency during a tough geopolitical and globally critical economic environment. He said in the 75th year of India's independence, this is an opportune time for the country to share its ancient wisdom with the world to find a middle path. Mr. Goyal added that throughout India's illustrious past, the country has been the torchbearer of democracy, diversity and inclusion. During this three-day working group meeting, over 100 delegates from G20 member countries, invitee countries, regional groupings and international organizations were present in the financial capital of India. The first G20 Disaster Risk Reduction Working Group meeting began at Gandhinagar in Gujarat today. Principal Secretary to the Prime Minister, Dr. P.K. Mishra, and Minister of State for Communications, Deva Singh Chauhan, inaugurated the meeting. 5 priority areas have been identified for the three-day meeting. They include early warning for all, resilient infrastructure, and improving national system for financing disaster risk reduction. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on Twitter at TIR News Alerts. Welcome back. You're listening to Evening News. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh has said that India is poised to achieve defence equipment exports target worth 40,000 crore rupees by 2026. He said defence exports have witnessed a quantum jump in the last few years.
पिछले समय में हमारे डिफेंस एक्सपोर्ट में काफी इजाफा हुआ है और आज से 7-8 साल पहले ये एक्सपोर्ट जहां कुल जमा 1000 करोड़ रुपए भी नहीं होता था, अब वो बढ़कर मोर देन 14 to 15,000 करोड़ पहुंच गया है। हमारा टारगेट है कि 26 समाप्त होते होते हमारा यह एक्सपोर्ट अप्रॉक्सीमेटली 40,000 करोड़ तक पहुंच जाए।
The Defence Minister was addressing the Rising India Conclave in New Delhi today. Terming national security as government's top priority, Mr. Singh asserted that relentless efforts are being made to attain self-reliance in the defence sector. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today made a surprise visit to the new Parliament building. Sources said Mr. Modi spent more than an hour and inspected various works along with observing the facilities coming up at both the Houses of Parliament. He also interacted with construction workers there. Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla was also present. Guneet Monga and Kartiki Gonzalez, producer and director of Oscar award-winning documentary film The Elephant Whisperers, met Prime Minister Narendra Modi at his residence today. The Prime Minister expressed happiness on meeting them. He said in a tweet, "The documentary-making team has made India very proud." He said the cinematic brilliance and success of the documentary film has drawn global attention as well as acclaim. The documentary makers also called on Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Singh Thakur at his residence in New Delhi. Mr. Thakur applauded the entire team for their historic achievement. All India Radio is presenting a vignette of select quotes of Prime Minister Narendra Modi from Mann Ki Baat as the program completes 100 episodes in April this year. Let's listen to the excerpts from the program in which the Prime Minister called India a nation of peace, harmony and unity.
People, voice and direct dialogue. That's your and our Mann Ki Baat. Yes, this is how our Prime Minister connects with millions of countrymen. With the program Mann Ki Baat, aired on the last Sunday of every month on All India Radio. This series, which started on October 3rd, 2014, will complete its 100th episode in April 2023.
India's true character and identity lies deeply rooted in our unity amidst diversity. Our country has countless traditions, different cuisines and multicolored attires of different communities. But in our veins flows the blood of cultural unity. Deen Dayal Upadhyay said that our broad thinking has been the source of this cultural unity. In the Mann Ki Baat episode, broadcast on 8th May 2017, the Prime Minister reminded us of this unique quality of our motherland.
भारत इस बात का गर्व कर सकता है, हम 125 करोड़ देशवासी इस बात का गर्व कर सकते हैं कि दुनिया के सभी संप्रदाय भारत में मौजूद हैं। ये ऐसा देश है जो ईश्वर में विश्वास करने वाले लोग भी और ईश्वर को नकारने वाले लोग भी, मूर्ति पूजा करने वाले भी और मूर्ति पूजा का विरोध करने वाले भी, हर प्रकार की विचारधारा, हर प्रकार की पूजा पद्धति, हर प्रकार की परंपरा हम लोगों ने एक साथ जीने की कला आत्मसात की है। और आखिरकार धर्म हो, संप्रदाय हो, विचारधारा हो, परंपरा हो, हमें यही संदेश देते हैं, शांति, एकता और सद्भावना का।
In some more news, Ram Navami is being celebrated with religious fervour and enthusiasm in several parts of the country today. The festival marks the birth of Lord Ram, the seventh incarnation of Lord Vishnu. President Draupadi Murmu has extended her greetings to fellow citizens on the occasion. The President said, the festival teaches the message of selfless service. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has also greeted everyone on the auspicious occasion. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said, the life of Maryada Purushottam Lord Ram is based on sacrifice, austerity, restraint and determination will remain the inspiration of humanity in every era. In Uttar Pradesh, Ram Navami is being celebrated with religious fervour. Heavy rush of devotees is also being seen at different temples for the worship of goddess Durga on the last day of Chaitra Navratri. Here is more from our correspondent.
जोग लगन ग्रह बार तिथि सकल भय अनुकूल चर अरु अचर हर्ष जुत राम जन्म सुखमूल. With the same spirit and devotion, people in large numbers reached Ayodhya and participated in Ram Navami celebrations, which started at noon today. Amidst the chants of bhajans and kirtans, Ram Bhakt celebrated the birthday of Lord Rama at beautifully decorated temples across the city. Ram Bhakts across the state have reached makeshift temple at Ram Janmabhoomi in Ayodhya to take part in the celebrations. Heavy rush of devotees was seen at different famous temples across the state, and the bhandaras for general public continued till late evening. Today is also the last day of Chaitra Navratri, and long queues of devotees are seen at Durga temples also. Sushil Chandra Tiwari, AIR News, Lucknow.
A ferry carrying about 250 passengers and crew caught fire in the southern Philippines and 31 people drowned or died in the blaze. Provincial Governor Jim Hatterman of the southern island of Basilan said that many of those rescued had jumped off the ferry in panic and were picked up from the sea by the Coast Guard. The search and rescue effort was continuing for at least 7 missing passengers. The Ministry of Defence today signed contracts for procurement of improved Akash weapon system and 12 weapon locating radars, WLR Swati planes for the Indian Army at an overall cost of over 9,100 crore rupees. The contract for procurement of improved Akash weapon system AWS for 3rd and 4th Regiments of Army Air Defence comprises live missiles and launchers with upgrades, ground support equipment, vehicles and infrastructure was signed with Bharat Dynamics Limited worth over 8,160 crore rupees. In badminton, PV Sindhu and Kidambi Srikanth have entered the singles quarterfinals of Madrid Spain Masters tournament. In women's singles, PV Sindhu defeated Indonesia's Putri Kusuma Wardani 21-14, 21-16. She will now face Mia Blichfeldt of Denmark tomorrow. Akarshi Kashyap crashed out, losing to Natsuki Nidaira of Japan 13-21, 8-21. In men's singles, Kidambi Srikanth registered a straight game win over compatriot B. Sai Praneeth. He will take on Kenta Nishimoto of Japan in the quarterfinals tomorrow. However, Kiran George and Priyanshu Rajawat crashed out of the men's singles. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. 13 people killed as a temple roof caves in Indore, Madhya Pradesh. President, Vice President and Prime Minister expressed grief. Union Home Minister Amit Shah inaugurates several development projects in Uttarakhand. Government exempts basic customs duty on drugs and food imported to treat rare diseases. India to achieve defence equipment export target worth 40,000 crore rupees by 2026, says Defence Minister Rajnath Singh. Ram Navami marking birth of Lord Ram being celebrated with enthusiasm in several parts of the country. And in badminton, PV Sindhu and Kidambi Srikanth enter quarterfinals of Madrid Spain Masters tournament. That's all in the news at 9. Good night.